Will Messi stay or go? Lukaku's looking happy. Watford caused a shock over the weekend. There's a transfer roundup and Emoji Mondays all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, here with the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first off, and to Lionel Messi, and we spoke about on Friday how he had a clause in his contract which means he can actually leave every single summer if he has an offer that so fits. Well, it looks like Barcelona are moving to end that kind of clause by offering him a lifetime deal. Now, not only will this give him a job at Barcelona in whichever role he wants for the rest of his life, it also will include a clause that he can only leave if it's to a team that's not in Europe. Of course, this means that the likes of PSG, Juve, even Real Madrid, can you imagine that, can't then go and offer Messi all the money in the world for him to join their club. The most likely is that when Messi eventually does leave Barcelona, he may be moving to the MLS. There's been much talk about David Beckham's Inter Miami, which is starting the season next campaign, about them bringing him in alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. Personally, I'm not so sure that'll happen, but it'll be ridiculous if they had Ronaldo and Messi in the same team. Of course, there is also the option to move back to Argentina with Newell's Old Boys, which he has spoken about earlier on in his career, but for the moment it looks like he'll be staying at Barca. Messi's current deal runs out in 2021, and the whole point of the lifetime contract is basically a massive thank you from Barcelona for becoming the world record breaker that he is, and for everything that he's given to the club, including all of the titles, all of the goals, and all of the history over the last 15 years. But moving on, and to Romelu Lukaku, who is looking happier and fresher than ever, according to Roberto Martinez. The Belgian manager has Lukaku under his wing for the current international camp, and after playing against San Marino, they now take on Scotland. And since his €80 million move to Italy with Inter Milan, Roberto Martinez has said he's never seen him happier. He says that Lukaku lives to score goals and is a brilliant hard-working player, and he hasn't really seen it in the last few years. I guess this is the good thing about the international break, that a manager gets to see a player change throughout his club career. Roberto Martinez has followed Lukaku closely. He said ever since he was a kid coming through the ranks at Anderlecht. Obviously, the moves to the likes of Chelsea, West Brom, Everton, and Manchester United have followed, and now at Inter Milan, there's a real thought that he could become one of the world's best strikers. He's already Belgium's top goal scorer of all time, and he's still only 26 years old. But away from strikers for the moment, and to managers, where Watford pulled an absolute shocker out of the bag at the weekend. Now, there will be more on this a little bit later, but basically, they got rid of Javi Gracia and brought back Flores, the guy who they got rid of just a few years ago. There's pretty much no difference between the two of them, and I don't understand why they've done it after only 4 games of the season. Yes, Watford have had a bad start. They've only scored twice and they've got 1 point. If things are going wrong long term, they should have got rid of him in the summer, and if not, this is only a temporary dip in form, and I'm sure that Gracia could have turned things around. Last season, he took them to 11th in the Premier League, although they were close to challenging the top 8, and of course, they went to the final of the FA Cup. They did get spanked by Manchester City, but that's neither here nor there. When Flores left, he took them to 13th in the Premier League into the semi-final, so how on earth can they reinstate him without bringing in someone else? Whatever happens at Watford from here on out during the rest of the season, even the first half of the season, I'm not so sure they're going to have the greatest time, as Flores has basically got the excuse that this isn't his team. So next up, we've got a roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news, or the rumours are still flying about for January and even next summer. And that is exactly the time that Real Madrid are reportedly looking to bring in Donny van de Beek after a move for the Ajax midfielder that didn't materialise this summer. Manchester City are interested in Inter Milan's Milan Skriniar as a cover for Aymeric Laporte in the January transfer window. Inter Milan themselves are interested in Sergio Milinkovic-Savic and Federico Chiesa. And last but not least, Samuel Eto'o, the fantastic striker of all those years at Inter Milan, Barcelona, Cameroon and elsewhere, has finally retired at the age of 38. And now we come to Friday Fields, which is a quick look back at your predictions in the Daily News on Friday. Malvin 1.0 said that Harry Kane will score and England will win, which definitely happened against Bulgaria. Cristiano Ronaldo, not the Cristiano Ronaldo, but still a good name for a YouTube account, correctly guessed the score of Finland 1, Italy 2, and Shivang Ratan guessed that Serge Gnabry would be on the score sheet first in the Germany-Holland game, which he was, although things didn't turn out too well for the Germans. So finally, because it's Monday, we come to Emoji Mondays, where we assign an emoji to a player or team from the weekend. Of course, you can also do the same in the comment section below, but starting off with the best player, and for me, it's got to go to Gini Wijnaldum in the Dutch midfield. He was absolutely brilliant, got an assist and managed to get the all-sealing goal in the last minute to make it 4-2, and it was just a brilliant all-round performance. performance. As for the worst player of the weekend, that goes in the same match to Jonathan Tah. He didn't have the greatest day in the defence for Germany. He scored an own goal and was part of the side that conceded 4 at home in a crushing defeat. Not the best of games for him. And as for the +3, the best victories of the weekend, I've actually got 2. First off, and it's Portugal winning 4-2 in Serbia. It's not necessarily the easiest place to go, so to score 4 and come out with a convincing win is a pretty good job. And the second victory of the weekend goes to Armenia. They beat Bosnia 4-2 with Henrik Mkhitaryan scoring 2 goals and having a hand in the other 2, and it's a brilliant turnaround in form for the Arsenal player who has looked so bereft of confidence in the last few months. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts on Emoji Mondays and the rest of the day's transfer news down below. Of course, while you're there, you can smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on Onefootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.